If your face looks round, puffy, and bloated, like I used to look right here, this video is gonna fix it today and have you looking lean and chiseled. And the chances that you're watching this video, you probably don't have face fat, you probably have inflammation and a few bad habits you just need to fix. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to sharpen your jawline, have that leaner look, have that cleaner look, and raise your confidence, because I feel like it is essential for looks maxing that you have a debloated face and a leaner face. So let's jump straight to it. Let's go. Now, the first point I told you about debloating your face has to be your grooming. This is not flubbed enough. I don't think anybody talks about this, because the main thing usually that they talk about is your carbs, your sodium, your potassium. But one thing I've realized, whenever you look at these models or any person who looks lean with that aesthetic looking face, their grooming is always on point. One thing I've also noticed is the top of their hair usually would be high, like the top of their hair would be high, and the sides would be lesser. So that usually would trick you to also seeing that visual look that your face looks a little bit lean and your jawline would show and pop even more. And I've noticed this personally, like whenever I have my beard even grow out very, very much, I tend to realize that my jawline shows a little bit less. Like right now I'm on a cleaner shave, the mustache and goatee combo. And I feel like the reason why the mustache and goatee combo really works is simply because it makes your jawline show. Like right now. However, for some people, you also would realize that a short dense stubble would give you more structure. So like if you have a beard, you need the beard line to be way more sharper. So grooming is so important. Just as women have makeup, we as men, we have our grooming. Like it says so much. So spend time fixing your grooming. That one trick alone would start actually having you have that aesthetic looking face, have that face that looks less debloated. Something I also realized with regards to being bloated is a lot of times it's really not face fat, as I said earlier. It is just bad habits. So I tend to realize that whenever I wake up bloated, first of all, I do not let my food digest properly. I probably had bad sleep. So like the whole of last week, I tend to realize that I was waking up very bloated because the previous week I was not sleeping enough. So I tend to be sleeping like 9 hours, 10 hours. So your sleep and your sleep position is very, very important. And that's the reason why I also said habits. So you need to optimize your sleep. When you optimize your sleep, try and sleep for 7 to 8 hours. That's one thing down. Another thing I will also recommend is, so I'm sleeping on my back rather than on my sides, because I realize that whenever I sleep on my sides, my face I wake up a little bit more puffier. Another thing I would also recommend is hydration. Hydration obviously is so important, because you would actually think that when you're drinking a lot of water, you probably are going to hold more water, but no, that's not the case. Whenever you drink a lot of water, what will usually happen is you're going to piss out a lot. And when you're pissing out a lot, your body has no reason to actually say, oh, let me hold on to this water. So you need to be drinking a lot of water. Some people say a gallon a day. I'll be sorry with you, a gallon a day is quite a lot. But one thing I would say I do is, I do this every single time. So when I wake up in the morning, I would just chug almost 1 liter of water. I'm not gonna be eating, I'll just chug 1 liter of water easy. And I would say it kind of helps you out throughout the whole day. We're still fixing the habit. So we fixed our sleep, we fixed our sleeping position, we've also fixed our hydration. Now, another thing you also need to fix is going to be your diet. So one thing about your diet has to be, you need to keep the ratios of sodium to potassium good. What is good? So you want to aim for around 4,000 of potassium, 4,000 milligrams of potassium, and about 2,000 milligrams of sodium. Your potassium should always be higher than your sodium. One of the reasons why people are actually bloated is the salt retention. So like there is so much sodium in your body, and wherever sodium goes, water goes. So just imagine that sodium and water, these two guys, they are best friends. So wherever sodium goes, water goes as well. So what you want to do is you want to counteract that with potassium. And foods that are high in potassium has to be bananas. I try to get around like 1 to 2 every single day. Avocados, spinach, and coconut water. When you get these foods in on a regular or consistent basis, you're going to be golden. In as much as I also told you that sodium is not too good, please and please don't cut it out entirely. Sodium is not evil. You still need sodium, because whenever you don't get sodium, there's a very high chance that you're going to be having cramps, you're going to be having problems. So you still need to hit your sodium. As I said earlier, it has to be around the 2,000 to 2,300 milligrams per day. You should be getting that from whole foods. Reduce your sodium even when you're like cooking. However, make sure you're still getting your sodium, because there's consequences for actually not getting enough sodium. The bad thing will be if it's too much. That's really where it's a problem. Now, you also need to get your carbs. There's also a general stereotype with regards to carbs, like, because carbs technically pull in a lot of water. So whenever you eat carbs like retains water. And the reason why a lot of times someone is bloated is because they eat carbs, and carbs hold water. So what you want is not to reduce your carbs. However, you should switch to like a moderate carb and high protein diet. Please don't cut out carbs, because I personally realized that whenever I've been on a high fat, high protein, low carb diet, my body would be craving carbs, because carbs is important for energy. Carbs is important for productivity. Carbs is very, very important. Like, let's stop the demonization of carbs. So you need to be making sure you're still eating your carbs. Just make sure that like while you're eating your carbs, it's not too close to your nighttime. That for me will be very important, because if you eat your carbs close to nighttime, obviously it's going to hold water, and when it holds water, it's going to make you wake up bloated the next day. So what you want to be doing is try and get your carbs like early in the day. Obviously, focus also on your potassium. Your potassium. I think for this, I would probably recommend maybe like hopping on electrolytes. So maybe getting a supplement, fruits obviously, but just try your best to get that ratio in. So the ratio really would be 4,000, around 4,000, or 3,000 to 4,000 for your potassium, then 2,000 to 2,300 for your sodium. So foods that make you look cooked would be ultra processed foods. So if you want your face to start looking leaner, you have to really start treating yourself a little bit differently, because I realized that the habits of the people who look leaner or more aesthetic is way, way different from the average person's habits. There are certain foods you should stay away from. One thing I would say is the first one has to be, you need to let go of them chips. Let go of chips, because the amount of salt every single bite, there was a study done that one Mac has about 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Just imagine that. So like if you're eating like 2 Macs, you've already blasted through your daily target, and most likely you're still gonna eat even more. So eating out on a consistent daily basis, stay away from that as well. You also need to cut down the excessive alcohol or drinking. Constant snacking on sugary foods, let it go as well. And one thing I realized is the moment you can actually optimize your diet to a point where you're getting a lot of your things from whole foods, you're going to naturally realize that everything kind of just fixes itself. Like I checked my potassium yesterday. I realized that I was around that 3,000 milligrams that I was talking about earlier. So just eating good foods. And the beautiful thing about eating good foods is that you're just gonna feel good. I'm not saying that you should cut out junk food entirely. Just make sure that in as much as you're eating some of all these things, you do know that there are gonna be consequences. You have to be probably understanding a little bit of mewing, because the moment my face had a very massive transformation had to be when I just learned tongue posture. When you mouth breathe, your jawline and everything is just messed up. The moment I switched to actually just breathing through my nose, mainly through mewing, and learned the tongue posture. The tongue posture is pretty straightforward. You just pretty much need to say where your tongue stays. You then try and keep your tongue like this, and you create suction. So to keep your tongue in that position, like this position, you create suction. So you use your suction, so like you suck. Hold up. Another thing that has been spoken about is lymphatic drainage. I do not believe that that stuff works, to be honest, because I don't think it does jack. Because when you wake up and you actually, if you get steps in on a consistent basis, you're also going to activate your lymphatic system, so it drains as well. However, if you're going to be using the gua sha and all of that stuff, what you should do is you should do it usually in the morning. So whenever you wake up, try and like debloat your face using the gua sha. Or however, I also realized that you can actually use your hands as well to drain the lymphatic system. So what you would do is probably wash your hand first. Obviously, you can do from here down like 10 times, from here down as well 10 times. Then you take your knuckles and you press your jawline to like drain it down, and you should do that 10 times. So every single motion should be done around 10 times. However, I won't lie, like personally I've done this, but I won't say the progress or it does anything significant. I would say it's very, very insignificant in doing anything. But hey, you should try first. You can probably let me know your results. And finally, the last point I would tell you about debloating your face has to just be get lean. The reason why some of you don't have the lean face that you actually want is because you are a higher body fat percentage. And when you really look at all these models, they are one or two things. They're either skinny on the slightly skinnier side, or they are jacked, or they are muscular to some degree. But you need to be at a low body fat percentage. When you drop your body fat percentage, you're going to realize that your face is also going to drop as well, because you can't spot reduce fats. You really need to overall drop your body fat percentage. If you do that, you are golden. If it's been very difficult for you to drop your body fat, if you've been starving yourself and you've been realizing that every single time all the things you're doing is not working, like all the general advice that you've been taking on the mainstream media is messing you up, you can definitely book a call with the link below, and I'd love to hear from you. And with that said, that's the video for today. Peace.